I saw Ermin Hamadovic's video on differentials, him also known as Ermin Ham Sandwich. I don't know if he's changed his moniker back to his original name, but in his video talks about differentials, and he reduces the acceleration sensitivity in a four-wheel drive car down to 10, and says it drives better. I don't know if it does. I'm going to find out. This is a first impression now. I never even thought to lower this at all. My usual range works with most other sims, and I'm going to find out if it improves specifically the Porsche. And Porsche is a special car in that it's got its weight bias, and it's very difficult, it seems, for a lot of sims to model properly. And Gran Turismo is no exception of that, having that difficulty. Let's find out how this drives. And all I've changed was that differential setting. And this is on the racing soft tire. He drove on racing hard tires on a car with soft suspension, and there's all kinds of factors, but I'm going to try just changing the differential. Okay, not used to the corner speed. Definitely much better right there. I just mashed the throttle all the way to the floor, and it's stuck. So I have to get up to speed because I'm not practiced with this car today. Okay, smashing the throttle, it works. Okay, I backed off throttle because it started sliding, but it didn't have any kind of negative effect that time, so I'm going to keep doing more laps. See, give it, okay, it pushes. It actually pushes on throttle now. I generally don't like push on throttle or too much. I like perfectly neutral throttle input, where the car is balanced perfectly on all four tires. Oh, wrong gear. Oh, there's a slide there. Oh, hit that curve. That's a problem with line choice, not throttle input. Let's continue. So a differential this open, all the way open to 10, whatever 10 is in this sim, probably only works with race tires specifically, because there's so much grip that there's not enough torque to actually spin up the tires to, and what do you call it, a negative effect, to negatively affect the car. So with less grippy tires, whoa. So it still has oversteer, which could be suspension problems, but it is a lot less throttle sensitive. Okay, yeah. That's actually pretty good. I'm surprised. I actually went into this thinking that it would not be that much of an improvement, but it's actually a very big improvement. Ermin's got good information. Still a little scared to get on throttle there. I probably should have been more brave just to test out the performance. So last time I got pushed on throttle by getting on throttle too early. That was actually really good. Let's see him getting throttle early. Oh, okay. Still has problems with the tank slapper, and that was early throttle input. So bad inputs still cause problems. However, out of the slow corners, it does have an improved performance change. Try not to take that curb this time. I think that curb can only be taken with a more locked differential on acceleration in particular, because it prevents the inside tire from spinning up when it loses traction. So now the question is, that I'm not going to answer in this video, is how much lock on acceleration sensitivity can the car handle? Because even if it performs better with an open differential on acceleration sensitivity, there's still more performance to be gained by having it as locked as possible. So not maximum lock, but the maximum possible lock while still maintaining its performance benefits of being open-ish. If that makes any sense. I get a lot of push on throttle. It's not snapping. Okay, so let's try this car, same car, different settings with the sports tires. Which one is it? Is it number 6? Sports Soft 106. I think that's the one. It's the latest one. Details. Well, I guess I should show the previous settings. Racing Soft 105. Yes. Okay. So I just maxed out the springs because at 350 I find, for me personally, and at maximum anti-roll as well, that it's still too soft with race tires. It should be in the 4 hertz range I mentioned in a different video. And so basically I actually can't make the car perform better because it has limited spring rates. Anyway, I'm going to leave that at 10 and acceleration sensitivity and switch to Sports 106. And this also in a previous video of this Porsche that I made with the sim wheel, I increased the rear spring to also a previously mentioned concept of increasing the rear spring to its maximum point while still providing good stability. So if I go stiffer in the natural frequency in the rear, even by 1 point, it becomes just a little bit too throttle sensitive. And this is the highest natural frequency I could achieve while maintaining stability in the rear on throttle. Anyway, at these specific differential settings. So anyway, I'll show this page as well. I should have done that with the other setting, just for relevance. I'll do that now. So the Racing 105. Is this. It should be the same mods, except it's got racing discs and racing pads. Oh, and different ballast and all that stuff too. So what is it? Sports 106. And down to 10. So something else Ermin mentioned while I'm at this and on this page, before I get to driving, is lowering the rear damping, compression damping, which is what I usually do when I don't have limited damper adjustability. I might try that, maybe in a different video. I just want to test the differential, but it could also be an improvement. Okay, oh, too fast. Now I'm used to the racing tire. Oh, hit a bump there. So remember the brake zones. I should have drove this car first. Somewhere in the middle here, between the last, or yeah, before the last two signs there, in the wrong gear. Oh, too fast. Like I said, I'm not used to this tire compound. I might have to do a couple laps to get used to it. Oh, brake at the yellow thing. Broke late. Let's get on throttle. Okay. So I actually want rotation on throttle. And with these tires, it does not push as much as the race tires on throttle. Brake before the 100. Let's do a couple laps to really find out. Still got a lift here. Taking fourth. A little wide. Wide here again too. Oh, whatever, there's no damage. No damage in this session. Wrong gear. Very nice. It's actually an improvement. I will not drive this car with comfort. Oh, broke late maybe? I will not drive this car with comfort tires. This car would never be driven with comfort tires unless like the owner is a private owner and they couldn't afford this designed tire, which if you can't afford the tires of a car, you shouldn't buy that car. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm not going to drive this car with, okay, still not enough grip to floor the throttle like the racing soft tires. Also could be a suspension issue. Maybe my rear suspension is too stiff, causing it to slide too easily. But generally I find that too much understeer actually causes more snap oversteer. That's a lift there with this sport soft tire. So my general conclusion after less than 2 laps is it performs better with the open differential. But like I said, I'm going to find out just how much more lock I can put in the differential and still have this performance benefit. Late brakes. Okay, sensitive on throttle. Okay, so I'm going to try switching back to 54. It was sensitive there. I gave it a lot of throttle. I'm going to switch back to the previous setting on the differential. $54. I mean, it is commonly understood in the tuning communities that too much acceleration lock does cause too much, not too much, but it does cause oversteer. But usually it's also understood that the lock, the oversteer caused by differential lock usually is a smooth transitional slide, not so much a snappy slide. I've missed my braking zone. You have to get to the last corner to really compare. That's too much throttle. Okay. Brake at the yellow thing. It is more throttle sensitive in that corner. I broke late. I'm going to go wide here. Too much throttle. Yeah, I think the more open differential, especially at lock of 10, is better than my usual 54, whatever that is. I don't know if it's a percent or some random value. It doesn't say percent in the setup sheet, so it might not be percent. I keep missing my braking zones. Okay, out of this turn in particular, just from, you know, very small sample sizes, more lock was better out of that turn. Oh, keep missing my brake zones. Okay, so with these tires, it's not as clear to me that the open differential is significantly better. It is better in some places, but I can't tell that it's better everywhere, much like how I experienced with the race tires. So what I'm going to do is go back to the racing tire setup. Which one was it? 105. So just for clarification of my naming, RS is racing soft, 700 is a performance point, and obviously it says PP. So for performance point, 1 is the first iteration, generation, whatever. No, first generation, I guess. I'll use that word for that particular number. And I don't want to use decimals or whatever, so I put a 0 because I might go to 99. And then 5 is the iteration of the generation. So if I make a major change, I'll change that the first of the 3 numbers to a 2, and then I'll go back to 201. I don't do zeros, I won't do 200, just 201. So that's how I'm naming these setups now, because it's really difficult to tell which one's which if it's random names. So I know it's, I use a numerical labeling, so I know it's the newest version with the highest number, up to 99. And then I will have to go to a new generation once I get to 99. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to go to the racing tire, and it was at 50. I'll just go to 25. I don't want to do 50, 40. Actually, so 40 plus 20 is 30. So that's exactly half. From 54-ish, wasn't exactly 50, but from 50 to 10 is 40, so divide that by 2 is 20, and then add that to 10 is 30. So approximately half. Really good throttle output. So I didn't do a benchmark test with the 54 lock, whatever it was, not percent, but 54 acceleration lock. So I should have done that first. Really good. Whoa. Was really good until I put too much power on the curb. Okay, let's try that again. I was rolling on throttle really early out of that turn. I drove onto the curb as I was rolling on throttle and it spun out. And the snappy tank slapper might be a suspension problem. I don't know. I'm just looking at throttle input. Okay, maybe it's too much lock, because I remember it being easier. And no oversteer in that turn. Remember it being easier to get on throttle at 10 acceleration sensitivity, and no oversteer in the high-speed section. I think I still have to lift here. Okay, I had a lift there. Third gear. Brake at the second board. Or second to last board. Too much throttle mid-corner, back on the curb. I'm going to wait, get off the curb. So I didn't get a good test out of that exit. Too much throttle mid-corner. Oh, there's a bump on that exit. I forgot. Don't go too wide in that turn. So that'll always happen in this car, hitting that bump. Has nothing to do with the differential lock. Now it's flat out. See if I can take this properly now. Coast on throttle, roll on the throttle, has good grip. That's a very good downforce, like mid-range downforce corner, so I don't know if that's a good corner to test the grip, especially with race tires. Good throttle output. Not too much throttle again. I like to drive through the apex on the throttle, not necessarily accelerating, but I want the rotation of the throttle input, which this is getting too much push, which might be an aero problem. Stay tight here. Okay, watch that curb. Yeah, it's a little sliding, yep. Okay, I'm going to try reducing the acceleration sensitivity lock. Alright, to 20. That's half of, or 10 was half of 20, and 30 minus 10 is 20. Oh, getting good rotation there. Okay, off throttle. Much better exit, but I was a little too easy on throttle there. And drive through the apex. Oh, too much throttle. Doesn't rotate very much on throttle with these tires. I think that was a problem with the previous initial, what do you call it, acceleration lock as well, so it's not a new problem. Oh, watch that bump. Darn it. Hit the bump again. A little bit slow on the apex. Let's throttle here. Good traction out of the last turn. Oops. Hang on, I gotta answer my phone. Almost done. My gloves are not... There we go. Really difficult to text when I have gloves on. Okay. Alright, back to the game. Keep in here. Watch that bump. Stay off the curb. That's slidey through that section. So what I can do to get better throttle rotation, or rotation through the apex on throttle, is to reduce the front spring rate, or the natural frequency. But I'm not going to get into that now, just doing acceleration sensitivity testing. Had to lift a little bit there. Oh, too much throttle. That was just too much throttle too early. I'm going to try lowering the differential lock again. Half of 10 is 5. So lowering it down 5. Got on throttle early there. Too much throttle. I think now that I'm closer to whatever ideal might be, I'm getting very minute performance benefits from the changes I'm making. But it's probably around 10. I don't know what the exact number is going to be. Oh, couldn't stick the throttle there. Maybe I need more aero push or aero understeer. So one of the other things Ermin did in his differential lock video was he lowered the car all the way down, which might be beneficial because if the car is at its lowest ride height, it's closest to the bump stops. And I said earlier in the beginning of the video that the racing tires require stiffer suspension, well, the bump stops are stiffer. And if the car is driving on the bump stops, it might perform better. At least with the wheel anyway. I don't know about with the controller. Can't coast through the corner on throttle. The faster corners, throttle steer is more capable because the aerodynamics are more effective at higher speeds. Whoa. Okay. Maybe less differential lock. So I'm down for getting a pretty good time with this lap, with that split I just got. If I don't overshoot the exit here, I mean. Good exit. That's about an average lap with the race tires at the current performance point settings. So I'm not going to go and find the exact value in this video, but it's probably very close to 10. It's lower than, so with this particular setup, it's lower than 15. So what I'm going to do off camera is first lower this down 3, so we'll be at 12, and if it's too open here, or if it's good here, I'll go up 2, or maybe up 1, depending on what I decide. And then if it's too locked at 13, then I'll go back down to 12. Or if it's too locked at 14, I'll go back down to 13. And then if it's good at 13, I'll stay there, or I'll go back to 12 if it's not. And if 12 is too locked, then I'll go down to 11, and so on. And I haven't tested beyond the range lower than 10. So if I go back to 10 and 10 is still good, or yeah, if 10 is still good, then I'll go down to 9 to see if it's too open or not. And then with these race tires, 5 might even be fine to run with, because there's very little slip in the tire. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at 12 for now. And that concludes this video. Till the next one.